Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we come on the air with a little somber, a little sorrow, to say the very least. We're going to start the show, obviously, to honor one of the greatest players in baseball history, Willie Mays. Willie Mays, who passed away um, recently uh, and at the age of 93. Uh, they called him the Say Hey Kid, the most electrifying individual in the history of baseball, and was without a doubt one of the most unique individuals we've ever had in baseball history. Born on May 6, 1931, and passing away on June 18, 2024, in Palo Alto, California. Willie Mays revolutionized Major League Baseball, and for that was one of the few people that was known as the five-tool player, beginning his career in the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro Leagues, and then of course, uh, basically starting that, making his professional debut in on May 25th, 1948, and then 3 years later, joining the New York Giants, May 25th, 1951, leaving an indelible career in his wake. Played from 1951 to 1952 for the New York Giants, and then obviously getting relocated to San Francisco, where he played from 1954 to 1972 with the San Francisco Giants. Was also a member of the New York Mets in 1970 in the 72-73 season, and that was where he finished his career. Um, in his in his legendary career, was a 24-time All-Star from 1954 to 1973, a World Series champion in 1954, a two-time National League MVP in 54 and 1965, the Rookie of the Year for the National League in 1951, a 12-time All Gold Glove winner from 1957 through 1968, a 1971 Roberto Clemente Award winner, was also a batting champion in 1954, was the leading home run hitter in the National League 1955, 1962, 1964, 1969, was a four-time stolen base leader in the National League between from 1956 to 1959, and was had both his jersey retired for the Giants and the Mets, was in the Wall of Fame for the San Francisco Giants, was named to the All-Century team and the All-MLB team, was inducted in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in 1979 on the first ballot, garnering over 95% to get into the Hall of Fame. His career numbers, astronomical. A 301 lifetime average with 3,293 hits, 660 home runs, with 1,909 RBIs, and 339 stolen bases for Willie Mays. And for that, there's really nothing more to say. This man was an icon, a legend in the game. Well beloved and has so many accolades in his career, and was considered one of the all-time greats. So obviously our thoughts and prayers are with his family, and with that said, we give it off to the man, basically the heart and soul of our baseball coverage, our lead analyst, our, you could say, our tip, our yeah, I was the Joe Buck, he was the Tim McCarver of the group. Anthony Florio, the say hey kid, Willie Mays. We lost him at the age of 93. It is all yours, my friend.
Yes, indeed. And I'd like to share a statement from Commissioner Rob Manfred. He said, all of Major League Baseball is in mourning today as we are gathered at the very ballpark where a career and a legacy like no other began. Willie Mays took his all-around brilliance from the Birmingham Black Barons of the Negro American League to the historic Giants franchise. From coast to coast in New York and San Francisco, Willie inspired generations of players and fans as the game grew and truly earned its place as our national pastime. There are not enough words to describe the legacy that this man had on the game of baseball. I mean, there are so. I mean, throughout his career, Mays maintained he did not specifically try to set records, but he ranks among baseball's leaders in many categories. Third in home runs with 660 when he retired. Still ranked sixth as of February of this year. 2,062 runs scored is ranked seventh. 1,903 hits. 1,903 RBI. Ranked 12th as of June 2021. The numbers speak for itself. And, along with the likes of Mickey Mantle and Duke Snider, he was a part of a triumvirate of center fielders from the New York teams of the 1950s who would be elected to the Hall of Fame. The three were often the subject of debates amongst the New York fans as to who was the best center fielder in the city. Willie Mays was a popular figure in Harlem, New York's predominantly black neighborhood in the home of the Polo Grounds. Magazine photographers were fond of chronicling his participation in local stickball games with kids, which he played 2 to 3 nights a week during homestands. In the urban game of hitting a rubber ball with an adapted broomstick handle, Mays could hit a shot that measured 5 sewers, nearly 450 feet. Unlike other black athletes such as Jackie Robinson, he tended to remain silent on racial issues, refraining from public complaints about discriminatory practices that affected him. Jackie Robinson once accused him and some of his teammates of not doing enough for the civil rights movement, and Hank Aaron wished Willie Mays had spoken out more on racial issues. Mays believed his job was to play baseball and not talk about social issues. I'm a ball player. I am not a politician or a writer or a historian. I can do my best. I can do best for my people by doing what I do best. And, he made a lot of history, one of the greatest of all time. Last night, we played a game last night. And there was a game that was played last night at the Rickwood Field in Birmingham, Alabama. That game last night was, without a doubt, was for Willie Mays. There is no question about that. And a lot of people were concerned when he made the announcement that he was not going to be in attendance for that game. And because a lot of people were fully expecting him to be there, considering that's where he got his start. And Dave Fleming of the San Francisco Giants was calling the game for the Giants on the radio against the Chicago Cubs on Tuesday night. And you could tell if you heard Dave Fleming on that call, you could tell how emotional he was. I listened to that call and he was very, very emotional and shaken up. But the way he handled it was absolutely brilliant and a testament to the outstanding job that he does in the broadcasting field. Willie Mays set so many, had such an effect, and his legacy is going to last forever. And the things that he did for the game and continued to do for the game until his passing on Tuesday. I'll tell you what, man. I mean, icon, ambassador, an all-time great. And when you think about the great moments of Willie Mays, the first thing that comes to mind was that spectacular over-the-head catch that he made in Game 1 of the 1954 World Series against the Cleveland Indians. Without that catch, the Giants don't win that series. Honest to goodness, they don't. They beat a Cleveland Indian team that won 111 games that year. And then he took his talents to the New York Mets, and he got them to a World Series in 1973, but that was a losing effort to the Oakland A's. And, so many people in the game today, so many people pay tribute. Barry Bonds, who, as we all know, Willie Mays is his godfather, as many of you may know. In addition to Barry Bonds, also paying tribute to Willie Mays were President Joe Biden, former President Barack Obama, San Francisco Mayor London Breed, and California Governor Gavin Newsom, as well as Barry Bonds and Magic Johnson. Anybody who's anybody had a kind word to say about Willie Mays and the impact and the effect and the legacy he had on the game of baseball, and an inspiration to all. One of the greatest to ever do it, and an icon in the game and an icon in pop culture altogether. And he's going to be missed. There's no question about that. He may be gone, but he will never ever be forgotten. And you thought it was an emotional night last night at Rickwood Field. Just imagine how emotional it's going to be at the All-Star game next month in Texas, when because I'm sure they're going to do something to honor his memory during the pregame, during those beautiful pregame ceremonies. I am sure. So MF pretty much ran down all the numbers, and there's nothing left for me to say except for on behalf of all of us here at TXN Sports World, we simply say to you, Willie Mays, as we always do, thank you for the memories. Thank you for the inspiration. And most of all, thank you for Willie Mays. And thank you for everything you did for the game of baseball. Rest in power, good sir. You may be gone, my friend, but you will never, ever be forgotten. There's nothing left for me to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Willie Mays passing away at the age of 93 this past Tuesday. Emotional night last night at Rickwood Field. And it's probably going to be just as emotional when we get to the All-Star game next month.
Yeah, it's definitely emotional. Losing one of the greatest players to ever play this game, Willie Mays, was... And I'll even go as far as to say he was the San Francisco Giants as far as I'm concerned. And what he meant to so many players, that came up through that organization, especially Barry Bonds. He did so much for that organization. And there's another thing. He also once competed on that old TV show edition of Home Run Derby, and I think he won it a few times. So but that catch during that World Series was definitely one that I'll never forget. Just the way he did it, he made it look so good, and he first got his start through the Negro Leagues, and that's why it was so emotional last night at Rickwood Field when the Cardinals and the Giants played at that old Rickwood Field as a tribute to the Negro League. So who knows where the Negro Leagues would have been if it weren't for guys like Willie Mays. So you guys pretty much said everything. So like you said, on behalf of all of us here at TXN Sports World, we definitely send our thoughts, prayers, and condolences to Willie Mays' family and friends, and to the Giants organization that he was part of. So there's really nothing more to say. Fletch, I think we're going to switch to wrestling now and talk about Smackdown.
Yes, we are. And we're gonna start it off with a promo segment by CM Punk. As it was back in Chicago at the Allstate Arena, CM Punk cutting the promo, interrupted by Paul Heyman, and we had a really cool moment there. But Heyman came out with a warning. Please get out of Chicago. They're gunning for you, meaning the bloodline. He feed him a warning, and Punk relented. He's like, nope, I'm not leaving. If they want to get me, fine by me. Somebody got him. We'll get into that. Spoiler alert, it was not the bloodline. Anthony Florio, Punk being in Chicago, great sign. And really nothing more to say. It's all yours.
MF, I'll tell you, MF, this was a fantastic segment that somehow lasted 20 minutes without overstaying its welcome. Paul Heyman is on another level with his character work right now, and CM Punk looks fired up to be back in the mix. This was the most excited CM Punk has looked in a long time. Paul Heyman's pop was almost as loud as CM Punk's. And a fantastic performance from Heyman. What else is new from him? He was so convincing with every emotion. And to see Cody Rhodes come out there and stand side by side with CM Punk, I mean, that's a goosebump moment right there. And let me just say, this segment tonight set the tone for what ended up being an amazing SmackDown. And MF, I know for a fact you are going to be very happy and pleased with what I am going to say when we get to our overall review tonight. There's a little spoiler for you. So, outstanding way to start the show. You couldn't have asked for a better way to start the show. A lot of people were saying, you could have saved this for the main event. You could have. But, they had something much bigger in mind for the main event. Oh, did they? So there isn't much more to say. Phenom, Michael Bullock, come on in. Fresh off another one of our legendary SmackDown chats, by the way. And MF, I think you noticed something. Bullock looks a little different to you. Doesn't he look a little different tonight?
Yeah, he looks a little different.
Can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Oh, wait a minute.
I would, I'm not really a hat guy. I would say lose the hat or burn it.
But he loves it.
But he loves it. And plus, it's telling the guy to burn a championship hat, that's blasphemous. He probably would come after my ass. He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean burn the hat? Are you nuts? Do you know how much I paid for that hat? Okay.
Somebody's been shopping.
Yeah, I think he went to Dick's Sporting Goods a little too hard there, bro. But no, it's okay. It's all right.
It's all good.
Respect. Well, the hat was only for me, and it was basically I got a shirt not just for me, but for my dad as well.
Yeah.
Belated Father's Day gift.
I mean, it is a pretty cool Father's Day gift. You're giving your pops a championship shirt of your favorite team. Hello, thank you.
Well, because my dad's been a big follower of the Celtics for a long time, going back to the old days.
Oh, I know.
Of course.
We know. Trust us. We definitely know. But it is yours, by the way.
Yep.
Fresh off another one of our legendary SmackDown chats, and Bullock, I mean, what a sight. CM Punk and Paul Heyman together again for the first time since CM Punk's epic WWE title reign of 2012 and 13.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was a sight to see. I mean, to see the two of them in the same ring for the first time since Heyman was part of CM Punk's long WWE championship reign. And he basically sent a warning to say, get out of Chicago because they're coming for you, referring to the bloodline. And Solo basically had the warning himself. And CM Punk then said, I acknowledge. And what was it, Florio, that he said about this version of the bloodline?
I'll never forget it. He called the Gorillas of Destiny a couple of fake-ass Usos. But what really did it was when he called Solo Sikoa a cosplay tribal chief. Wow.
Oh,
Pipe bomb.
yeah.
Yeah, and don't think for a minute that the three of them took that kindly. And they're about to give him a 3-on-1 beatdown until Cody Rhodes made the save, and of course it set up the main event later on, which turned out to be Cody Rhodes against Solo Sikoa. So a good way to start this off. So Fletch, let's get into the matches portion of this of the show.
All right, and we do jump it off with a women's Money in the Bank qualifier. Bianca Belair versus Michin versus Chelsea Green. And you're thinking, Bianca Belair, easy, right?
Odds-on favorite.
Odds-on favorite? Bianca boys? Bullock?
Absolutely. Bianca.
Bullock? I think he's...
Oh, yeah. I would have said Bianca Belair all the way.
Well, guess what? It wasn't. The winner in 7 minutes and 14 seconds and going to Money in the Bank, Chelsea Green.
She literally stole it.
She won it. She wins it. Basically, Bianca hit the KOD on Michin, and then Chelsea Green grabbed Bianca, tossed her out of the ring, and got the 1, 2, 3 and stole the win. Anthony Florio, wow. Chelsea Green going to Money in the Bank.
In the immortal words of Tim Allen, I think that's what we were all doing. I know you were, MF, but can we say we've seen something like this before? Chelsea Green, gentlemen, and I told this to Bullock during our SmackDown chat, MF, and I know you're going to agree with me when I say this. Chelsea Green was a little bit of an ultimate opportunist here tonight.
Oh, she was.
There were no allies in the ring and nobody at ringside to help anyone cheat. So this was a competitive fight between all three competitors for its entire runtime. Michin hit Chelsea Green with a Styles Clash, but Bianca was there to break up the pin. Chelsea Green stole the win by throwing Bianca out of the ring so she could pin Michin after the KOD. Solid match that had a genuinely surprising outcome, which is always good in the overly predictable world of professional wrestling. The way Chelsea countered Belair's handspring against the ropes was great. The tope suicida she hit a few moments later would have looked awesome if Belair and Yim hadn't been looking for her constantly while waiting for the spot. They sold it well, though. The crowd gave them a "This is awesome" chant. And did you hear that pop when Chelsea won the match? Wow.
There was a genuine surprise, and there was a few people that were actually very happy. They wanted Chelsea to win it. So, hey, and as a matter of fact, now, I hate to say this, but could we have a dark horse to possibly win the Money in the Bank? I mean, I know long shot, Chelsea most likely no, but if she stole this, what if she steals the Money in the Bank?
Can you imagine her with that briefcase?
Oh my God. One step away from being a women's champion? Oh, Lord help us if she wins the SmackDown women's title. If she's the one to knock off Bayley, Lord help us if she's the champion.
Get me a freaking aspirin if that happens.
Somebody's going to be doing a certain "I can't take it" face.
Oh,
that too.
Dude, I might be joining you with that "I can't take it" face. I might be doing the infamous "I'm a Ron." I might have the head scratching from the legendary Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Dude, she'll rub it in our faces, and she'll never let us forget about it.
Oh no.
Oh
absolutely
no.
And that's why I said get the aspirin for me, because I can't.
And the funny thing is about it is this is gonna be my problem. This isn't Floyo's problem. This ain't gonna be your problem, Michael Bullock. This is my problem. She's on Smackdown, for God's sake.
And that's a problem for Nick Aldis.
And yeah, I mean, she's gonna be like, "Oh, Nikki," and I know Nick is. He's already like, "Oh my God, yes, Chelsea." Like, it's gonna be one of those type of moments. I know it's gonna happen. Nick is one of the coolest guys out there. If he needs to lay down the law, he'll lay down the law. I don't even know how he handles with Chelsea Green. Like, I really and I know Adam Pearce is lucky that he doesn't have to deal with her anymore on Monday Night Raw, and Nick has to deal with her on SmackDown. And I know we remember the night we were talking about this on the draft. Dee Woodson even admitted it. She's like, if there's one guy who could probably handle Chelsea Green, it's probably Nick Aldis. Now she's one step away from being Money in the Bank. Lord help us if she gets that briefcase. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And for me, my rating for this, 2.5 to 2 3/4 of a star. So there isn't anything else left for me to say on this except Michael Bullock, Chelsea Green, ultimate opportunist here tonight, stealing this qualifying match, starting what ended up being, as we said it during our chat there, a night of surprises and shockers.
Yeah, this was definitely a night of surprise. A night of surprises and shockers, and this was one of them. And yeah, 2.5 stars for this match. And yeah, Chelsea Green literally stole it, basically being the ultimate opportunist. Now she's one step closer to being Money in the Bank. And like you just said, Fletch, God help us if she wins that Money in the Bank briefcase and she cashes in and wins the women's championship. Man, I'm going to feel bad for you, Fletch. I mean, because if that happens, that's going to be your problem. I can't get over it. So there's really nothing more for me to say except, Fletch, it's yours.
And then we go into a backstage segment. It was DIY with Grayson Waller. And then, well, you heard a loud banging. We knew something was going on. They opened the little security hatch or the doorway, the garage door. There's a shadowy figure. And he looked a little tall, looked with some hair. There's a beard there. Oh, shit, it's Drew McIntyre.
I believe you had this one, MF.
And then look who he had. Bloody mess, beaten down, and wrecked. CM Punk. McIntyre basically showed up in Chicago, came for a fight, and beat down the Second City Savior. I warned you. I told you.
Hey, you called it.
And I called it. I said it, that it was a ploy. I said that this was a setup, that he knew that Punk was not going to be in Chicago. There was no point for him sticking around. And what he does is he just absolutely committed damn near a homicide on CM Punk. And I'm sorry, Punk fans. And I know there's a certain Punk fan that loves him, but he got what he deserved. Perfect payback for a Clash at the Castle. Eye for an eye. That's all I'll say. Bullock, it's yours.
All I can say is that it's a good thing we're not in Chicago, Fletch, and you didn't say that, because if the Chicago fans in Chicago that are CM Punk fans that heard that, they'd be all over your ass. And
like I give a damn what they think.
And I'm sure you would give them the Stone Cold Steve Austin middle finger treatment, saying, "Screw you, Chicago people. Punk got what he deserved." But yeah, what he did was absolutely sacrilegious. I mean, to do it in Chicago, the IWC capital of the world, and they let him have it big time. And I don't know what was it, Fletch, that he took from CM Punk's wrist. Was it some kind of like some kind of bracelet or something? I really don't know what it was, but he took
It
it.
was bracelets, yes.
And Fletch, I mean, and you saw the look on Nick Aldis's face when he came out, and he was pissed. I mean, Nick Aldis, and then Drew McIntyre, he actually shoved Nick Aldis, and I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, it's one thing to argue with Nick Aldis, but if you put your hands on him,
Well, technically, he's free agent because remember he quit, he left. So technically, if anything, he was trespassing. I mean that attack, that's on the borderline. That remember he's not okay. This is a gray area because technically he's a free agent because he quit WWE. Even though we all can say nod nod wink wink, he signed the big contract return. So technically he can't, what he did is against, policy, whatever. But in the grand scheme of things, he just went full rogue, beat down on CM Punk. If he pushes all this, all right, that's now you're crossing a little bit of the line. But do you think Drew McIntyre cared? No.
I think if Drew McIntyre wanted to take it a step further, he would have Claymored him.
If he really wanted to hurt Nick Aldis, he could have. And the thing is, there would have been zero repercussions because you can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna fight." You can't find him. He quit. He left. There was nothing you can really do about it.
And Drew McIntyre would say, "What I did was 100% legal."
And in the eyes of the McIntyre fans, it was 100% legal. Eye for an eye. I said it. He did his brand of martial law. He felt wronged. He was like, screw it. I'm going to handle this myself. You screwed me in my own country, in my turf. I'm going to screw you in your hometown on your turf.
And then he'll probably say, it's not, and there's nothing Nick Aldis can do about it. There's not a damn thing Adam Pearce can do about it. And there's not a damn thing that Triple H can do about it.
The only thing I can think of right now is that we might be setting ourselves up for a match, but not just any match. I think we might have to non-sanction this. Like, we're going Shawn Michaels, Triple H, SummerSlam, 2002, non-sanctioned, because I think it's gotten to the point where I don't even think Triple H wants to handle this. I think it's gone beyond that. It's gone beyond now. So to me, if I'm Hunter, I'm like, you guys are going to sign waivers. You guys are not going to sue us. We are not handling this. This is non-sanctioned. If you guys want to kill yourselves, then do it, but the blood is not on our hands. It's not going to be on WWE's hands. It's not going to be on TKO's hands. You want to kill yourselves, then be my guest, but we're not. But if you guys want a platform, you guys want to fight, we'll do it at SummerSlam. But this is not going to be a sanctioned fight. We don't want nothing to do with this.
Yeah, so Fletch, you say it's you're calling. You think it should be non-sanctioned?
Absolutely.
What about you, Florio?
Non-sanctioned. Let them fight. Let them brawl and do it.
I need to address a rumor that I heard.
Well, first, before you address that, I mean, if they do this at SummerSlam, do you think it should be non-sanctioned?
100% beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Well, then
All
that
right,
makes me three because, like you said, Fletch, it's gotten to the point that these two literally, I mean, hate I think is an understatement. They loathe each other so much. I mean, with everything that's going on, a regular match is not going to do it justice.
And
Have
the
both
rumor,
of them sign hold harmless contracts, and Triple H would say, "You two want to sell this? Go right ahead, but we're not going to end up with blood on our hands. Where the two of you can't sue me or the WWE or TKO in general. If you want to fight, do it, but we're not going to be held responsible for what happens to the two of you."
yes, and
And I'll even go on the record as saying, if that is non-sanctioned, I think it's got a chance of surpassing Shawn Michaels and Triple H from SummerSlam 2002.
Indeed, it does,
because this is way beyond personal.
Yep, and Bullock, I told you this rumor earlier. I'm telling MF this for the first time. PW Insider reporting, very very reliable source, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They're reporting that they want to bring back the Bad Blood pay-per-view for what would be on Saturday night, October the 5th, at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And they want to do CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre inside Hell in a Cell.
I would think that's the perfect blow-off, but I do believe that, well, now it really depends, because I think a lot of people are saying we should do Punk versus McIntyre at SummerSlam, and that was the original plan, if we remember. That was the original plan. I think if you do that fight, all right, let it be a screwy finish. Maybe nothing gets resolved in that first fight. That should be the end game. That should be the final battle, the end of the war. Throw them in Hell in a Cell because I believe it would commemorate the anniversary of the first ever Hell in a Cell. That was The Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. And we all remember how that ended on that night. It's gotta be Kane! It's gotta be Kane!
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you know? The biggest Undertaker supporter just muted his mic. I guess he didn't want to remember that bad memory. Who knew? All right.
I remember that.
Oh, okay.
I remember it very well.
Yep. So, all right. So we got to move on. We got to try to get the lot back in order a little bit here. So, next up we had was Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga versus Carmelo Hayes in a Money in the Bank qualifier. Another surprise. Carmelo Hayes winning the match in 8 minutes and 50 seconds. He's going to Money in the Bank. I mean, wow. That's the word. Wow. I can't believe it. It was a shocker. Another 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star. Solid matchup for Carmelo Hayes. Dude, biggest win of his career. Biggest win on the main roster up to this point. He hasn't had that many big moments. This was a big moment. But, yes, there was a little bit of a screwy finish. Bloodline got involved. Kevin Owens got involved. So it was basically Bloodline versus the Renegades were going at it. And Carmelo Hayes basically picked up the scraps to get the victory. But, hey, you get the win. You're going to Money in the Bank. That's all that matters. The A champ gets to be in a big fight for a big opportunity, a moment, a chance of a lifetime to possibly become Mr. Money in the Bank and get a shot at the WWE or World Heavyweight title. Yeah, oh yeah, sign me up for that one. So nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, 2.5 to 2 3/4. Carmelo Hayes going to Money in the Bank.
This wasn't quite as energetic as the bout Chelsea Green one, but they did a good job making it feel competitive with a few near falls. Kevin Owens and Tonga Loa fought at ringside, and the distraction allowed Carmelo Hayes to roll up Randy Orton for a surprising win. And Orton's table suplex has become a guaranteed pop, and the crowd loves it. And as far as the McIntyre and Punk thing goes, the heat Drew McIntyre got during that was nuts. WWE was smart to do this in Chicago, because in any other city, a lot of fans would have been cheering for him. No doubt about that. 2.5, 2 3/4 of a star. I agree with the rating. I was going to give it 3, but bump it down to 2.5 to 2 3/4 because of the craziness. But biggest win for Carmelo Hayes and Michael Bullock, like MF said, biggest win for Carmelo Hayes on the main roster. Could it lead to an even bigger win in Toronto in 2 weeks?
Well, we'll have to wait and see on that. So, yeah, 2.5 to 2 3/4. Like you said, I was going to give it 3, but the interference of the bloodline basically took some of it away. But like you said, a win's a win, and Carmelo Hayes has punched his ticket to Money in the Bank. So, nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
All right. Right after that, we did have a triple threat match, as it was Andrade, Grayson Waller, and Kevin Owens, and it was the WWE Speed Champion. Yes, the new WWE Speed Champion, as he took the belt from Ricochet. But Andrade El Idolo, he had Tranquilo in the system tonight. He wins it in 10 minutes and 34 seconds. Anthony, another pleasant surprise, another winner that was shocking victory. Andrade wins.
All three men played their roles well and put on a fun performance. Kevin Owens is always amazing at selling. Andrade is an incredible athlete. And Grayson Waller is one of those heels you love to hate. And Waller ended up jumping right into Andrade's finisher to give El Idolo the win. Andrade is the current WWE Speed Champion. It would be nice if he got to carry that belt on other shows. And Andrade's sunset flip powerbomb out of the ring looked nasty. This, to me, by default, was the fight of the night. I'm going to give this in excess of 3 1/4, teetering on 3.5. Very good match, and another surprising outcome. So now we have, in the men's Money in the Bank field, you got Jey Uso, you got Carmelo Hayes, and now you add Andrade to that mix. Okay, this is shaping up to be really interesting. And we got some more qualifiers on the way. So, including Chad Gable versus Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed, which we'll address this Monday night on Ridiculously Raw, and another men's qualifier on Smackdown next week. Oh, by the way, from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Come on, MF. So there's nothing else left for me to say here. 3 1/4, teetering on 3.5. Fight of the night for me. And Michael Bullock, we talked about it. The theme continued here tonight. The theme of the night: surprises and shockers. Chelsea, Mello, and now Andrade. Okay, yeah. This Papa H regime ain't messing around, boys.
Exactly. This new regime is really. I mean, and what's the thing that we like, guys, about WWE?
Unpredictability.
And we got it not once, not twice, but 3 times tonight.
Uno dos tres, folks.
I mean, yeah, Andrade, a big win for him, and could it lead to something bigger come Money in the Bank? So I'll give this 3 1/4 stars, and this is also my fight of the night, so nothing more to say. It's yours, Fletch.
And it leads us to the main event of the evening, as it was Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. Cody Rhodes winning the match in 1 minute and 36 seconds by disqualification, but that's not even the biggest talking point. So Gorillas of Destiny hits the ring. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton hit the ring. So it looked like we were going to have a standoff. Basically, Owens and Orton cleared out Gorilla of Destiny. They cornered Solo by himself in a corner, 3-on-1. You're thinking Solo's about to get his comeuppance. Until somebody else came to the dinner party, and oh my effing God, who it was. Jacob Fatu, the greatest, longest reigning MLW World Heavyweight Champion in the history of the company, and one of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling. He is now in WWE, and he is now the 4th member of the new bloodline. Oh my freaking God, he left a heap of destruction in our wake. And Michael Bullock, whoa, this was insane to close the show.
I mean, I gotta ask you, Fledge, what kind of bloodline is Solo Sikoa forming?
Oh,
Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and now Jacob Fatu? I think Solo was basically saying, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this old bloodline regime. We need to up the regime. We need to bring in people that are more dangerous and more violent. And Tama Tonga and Loa are definitely up there, but when you talk about Jacob Fatu, man, God help your show, Fletch. With this new bloodline, they're gonna wreak havoc on SmackDown. And all I can say is good luck to Nick Aldis having to deal with this version of the bloodline. So, and there was one thing that Solo Sikoa said, Fletch, that really caught on before the match. He said Roman Reigns isn't coming back. I think that's basically saying that he's now the new head of the table.
mm-hmm.
And you may be that for right now, but a certain someone might have something to say when he returns. And that is the original head of the table, the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. We'll find. Well, the only question is, when will it happen? But either way, it's all going to lead to SummerSlam when it's Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, and I'm calling it right now. It's going to be Tribal Combat. So, unfortunately, I can't give this a rating because it ended so shortly and it was a disqualification. But my oh my, this new bloodline, Fletch, as I give it to you, it is more dangerous and more violent than ever before. And God help Nick Aldis to try to contain these guys.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. It's a path of destruction, is what they're leaving. So I don't know what even there is to say. So yeah, absolute domination, absolute destruction, unbelievable that we can say that. Um, Holy freaking crap, man! Game changer. That's all we can say. Now, here we go. There's really nothing more to say. It's just, it's incredible. Obviously the fights in NA, but the after effect is holy freaking crap! What a way to close the show. There's really nothing more to add. Anthony Florio, what's yours?
Yeah. The match itself was a throwaway, but what followed was a great way to bring Jacob Fatu into the fold and immediately establish him as a threat. SmackDown ended with the Bloodline posing as Paul Heyman looked on from outside the ring. Fatu's rampage was the best part of all of this. And I know the history. Major League Wrestling Fusion, World Heavyweight Champion, the most dominant champion in the history of that company. That's no joke. That's legit. And I don't follow it as much as MF does, but I do know of the history of it. I do. And but man alive, I mean, what we've been waiting for this for quite some time, and we finally get the payoff here. Now you got Solo, you got Gorillas of Destiny, and now you got Jacob Fatu. Who in the bluest of blue hells is going to stop that foursome? I have no unearthly idea. But MF was throwing out, oh my gods, left and right. I mean, first when he took out Randy Orton when he speared him through the barricade, and then of course the traditional Joey Styles. Oh my God! When Jacob Fatu dove through Cody Rhodes on the announce table. Oh my word! What a way to end an unreal SmackDown. And I'm going to be singing my praises on that. But then again, social media is universally praising this show here tonight, and their sentiments are my sentiments exactly. So. What a way to end a wild and crazy night in Chicago. But then again, it's the IWC capital of the world. Did you expect anything less?
Yeah, absolutely not.
You thought tonight was good, MF? Wait till next week. Our house, MSG. Yeah. And we know, you know, what WWE is capable of in our house, don't we?
Oh, yeah. This is normally the best, But we'll see. We'll see. All right. So overall review, 9 out of 10. Probably 9.5 out of 10. I don't think there was one bad thing about the show. I mean, Chicago was delivering. It was a great night of action. It was one of the strongest SmackDowns we've had in a long time. Maybe since the road to WrestleMania, because there was banger after banger on this one. And Chicago delivered in spades. This was, without a doubt, the best 2 hours, the most comfortable 2 hours. And they had competition, by the way, because they had Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final that was going down tonight. And they had to go up against that. So they knew they had their work cut out. And SmackDown and Fox absolutely delivered in spades. No doubt about it. You could even make an argument that this was SmackDown of the year. That this was the best SmackDown show of the year. 9 to 9.5 out of 10. I don't think it's enough for the 10, but it is pretty damn close. Anthony Florio, it is yours.
Oh, MF. I mean, SmackDown stiff competition tonight. Guess what? Raw Monday Night's gonna have that. It's gonna have even stiffer competition.
Yeah.
The two most exciting words in sports. You know them. You love them.
Game 7.
And more importantly, no matter what, the Stanley Cup will be in the building. It's been there the last couple of nights. No matter what, whoever wins it, the cup is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
This is the definition of winner take all.
Whoever thought we would hear? Whoever would have thought we would get to hear?
First time since 1945, something like that has happened. It was the Detroit Red Wings came back from 3-0 down against Toronto to force a Game 7, but Toronto actually won Game 7. 1942, the only time it's ever happened in the finals, the Toronto Maple Leafs fell behind the Detroit Red Wings 3-0, and then Toronto won 4 in a row and did the unthinkable and won the Stanley Cup. So,
and I'll say this briefly. I mean, yes, the Florida Panthers are at home, but I'm sure they gotta feel like they gotta be nervous right now, like thinking like, are we about to do something that hasn't been done in a long time?
82 years.
How poetic is this gonna be for all the Boston Bruins fans? For all of the New York Ranger fans, how poetic justice if this happens. To see the Florida Panthers lose the Stanley Cup Final, get reverse sweeped 4 straight out.
Could happen.
Oh!
Could happen.
Oh my God. Dude.
Could happen.
The Boston Bruins would literally be off the hook. The Boston Bruins would literally be off the hook. The Florida Panthers are on the verge of being considered the biggest chokers in NHL history.
And can you imagine what the memes are going to be like if come Tuesday if that happens?
The memes.
If they lose the Stanley Cup to Edmonton after being up 3-0, it would be catastrophic. Bruins fans are off the hook. You guys have been the biggest joke for almost a year because of the fact that you blew the 3-0 series lead. You had the President's Trophy. You blew the lead. It was 3-1. And you lost the series, and everybody crushed you for it. Imagine if Florida chokes the cup. Oh my Lord. Oh my word.
Whoa, Nelly. So,
Florida fans, you better go to church on Sunday. You better be praying to whatever God you have. Christian, Catholic,
Pentecostal,
Buddhist. Yeah, whatever religion you are, you better go to the nearest church or mosque or wherever, and you better be praying right about now that your team can find a way to win Game 7.
Like Toronto did in 45.
Because if you blow this,
like in 42. I mean, I don't know. I honest to God don't know. But let me just say this. Imagine if the Edmonton Oilers do the unthinkable. Do you have any idea how impossible Canada's going to be?
Oh, my God.
31 years.
Yeah.
31 years since a team from Canada won the Stanley Cup, and it was the most successful of them all, the Montreal Canadiens. This would be, for the Edmonton Oilers, this would be their first since 1990. So, what a story. And if it's warranted, keep in mind, only if it's warranted, and if we're doing a show at that time, there could be some possible bonus commentary. So, we are most certainly going to address this on Monday night. Trust you me. Anyways, MF, you took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say when it comes to tonight's show. The Smackdown of 2024. I've been looking at social media, and I have seen a lot of universal praise for this show here tonight, and rightfully so. Tonight's Smackdown was a strong show, both in terms of in-ring action and those two key words, storyline progression. All three of the triple threat qualifying matches were a lot of fun and gave us winners that were surprising in the best way. Chelsea Green, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade were not the favorites in their respective bouts, but all three were well received by the live crowd in Chicago. The addition of Jacob Fatu to the Bloodline has been anticipated for weeks. He had a strong debut and likely caused at least a few unfamiliar fans to look up some of his work in other promotions. Money in the Bank is coming up quickly, so WWE has already set up quite a bit for the show. With a few more episodes of TV between now and the pay-per-view, we should have enough time to make sure each match feels important. The feud between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is already one of the best things going in WWE, and tonight kicked things into high gear. CM Punk still isn't back full-time yet, but this was a great way to keep that story going. 9 to 9.5 out of 10. MF absolutely nailed the rating. That's the best Smackdown of 2024. There isn't anything else left for me to say except Phenom, Michael Bullock, what a night. What a night in Chicago.
Yeah, what a night in Chicago. I mean, they were really good, and WWE really delivered. There wasn't one bad thing about this show that got me, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I agree. 9 to 9.5, best SmackDown of the year up to this point. So Nothing more to say except Fletch. Let's get into your preview of Big Three basketball.
Yes, indeed. Big Three is back. Week number 1 in the bag. And my goodness, I mean, you want to talk about some very interesting ways of how the Big Three started, man. This was it was pretty good. It started out really good. So let's cut it. Let's break it down for you all, and then we'll set up for week number 2. So first off, Big Three, week 1. We started off. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Oops, that's not what I wanted, but okay. It was actually this. All right. So week 1, we started with the enemies, the defending champions. They went up against the triplets, the team that they won the championship from, and it was the enemies winning the game by the final score of 50-44. Then in the second game, this was also on CBS. It was the three-headed monsters. They knocked off the aliens 51-44. Actually 51-46 by the final score. Then we shifted gears, and all the remaining games were on X, and they drew over 5 million people watching on X. That was very impressive. We started out with the Ball Hogs knocking off Tri-State in somewhat of an upset. 51-37 was the final score in that one. Then in the big upset of the day, Bivouac knocked off Trilogy. The 3-time champions goes down to Bivouac by the final score of 52-47. Then in the other game, it was the Ghost Ballers knocking off the Killer Threes by the final score of 50-48. And in the game of the night, the final game of the night, Michael Cooper and Three's Company, yes, Anthony's team, Three's Company, talk down and talk out Nancy Lieberman's Power by the final score of 52-50 in the final game of the day. And it was remarkable because four of the 5 players were in double figures for the Three's Company. Michael Beasley, Mario Chalmers, Nelsie Carter, and Sean Williams all had more than 10 points combined. Mario Chalmers and Michael Beasley, 15 points apiece in the victory over Power. Now, week number 2. First 2 games will be from the Youngling Center in Tampa, Florida. The game will be on Saturday, and it starts early. So the first game will be on CBS. It will be the Ghost Ballers going up against the defending champions enemies. And then we will have Tri-State going up against Trilogy. Then the remaining games will be on X. It's Bivouac going up against Three's Company. We'll have, after that, Killer Threes versus Power. Then after that game, it will be the Three-Headed Monsters and Triplets. And the final game of the day will be Aliens versus the Ball Hogs. So first 2 games will start at 1 o'clock. So 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock respectively on CBS. And then at 3 o'clock, or whenever the game ends around the 3 o'clock hour, go over the X, and all the remaining games will be on Twitter. So with that said, that is that for that realm. And now, gentlemen, in our main event of the evening, one of the biggest wrestling shows that's going down, and it's going down on tomorrow night, live from Johnston, Rhode Island at the Recreational Center. It is RWA Spectacle, a benefit event for Special Olympics Rhode Island. this is without a doubt one of the biggest nights in RWA history. This is actually the second year ever that RWA is doing an event on the benefit of Special Olympics. And if it's anything like last year's event, this one might be could be something else, to say the very least. So with that said, let's run down the official fight card. It is a big one too, guys. So let me try to find it. I know it's got to be up here somewhere. Okay, can I find it? I know it's here. All right, let me see. Hold on. I think I gotta go to RWA. What the heck? Hold on. Let's see if I find it. If I go here, let's see. All right, so that's that. Let's see, RWA. All right, here we go. With this said, here we go, guys. It is 10 matches, all to benefit the Rhode Island Special Olympics. And the slogan, as legends would put it, it doesn't get any better than this.
Woo!
Woo! Here we go, guys. 10 matches. The fight card is set. And here we go. We started off with, one of Michael Bullock's buddies, Teddy Goods. He goes one-on-one with BRG. That's going to be a one-on-one spectacular. Of course, the one time that it did happen, Teddy Goods actually kind of ran into Michael Bullock as they were kind of having a moment right at the start of the show. So we'll see how that plays out. But all right. The next one we have is a 5-way dance, as it will be Milo Mira, Cletus, Anthony Floyo's good buddy, AJP, Jermaine Marbury, and Tyler Dreams. They are going to be in a 5-way dance. Then we have ourselves a mixed tag fight, a 6-person tag, as it will be Kellen Thomas and Anthony Stone with Spike. They are going up against I don't know who this other team is. Anthony, can you help me out on the other squad?
The 6-person mixed tag there.
Yep. Because it doesn't give me it. I'm looking for the names, but I don't see it.
Okay, it is Nick Diamond, Riley O'Neal, and the NCW Women's Champion Amber.
All right, there you go, guys. Then after that, it is going to be Team Morales. And they are going up in a 6-man tag team fight against, just legends. Big Daddy T Phoenix, Danger Boy Alfredo, and the Wolverine. Anthony, I think we know who we're rooting for in that fight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you've been watching our shows for the longest time, MF and I have been fans of Danger Boy Alfredo and Wolverine since we were watching them on the old Rhode Island Interconnect Channel A, exclusively to Cox Communications in Rhode Island. And it wasn't just the wrestling show; they also had that variety show that they also did, and we enjoyed, and we had a lot of fun watching that too. We have met them on several occasions. Hell, almost a year ago, MF and I at Legacy last year at the Columbus Theater in Providence, we actually had a photo taken. We had a photo op with DB and Wolvie.
Yeah.
One of the greatest thrills.
Oh yeah.
One of the greatest thrills. I only wish Bullock was there. That would have made it even better.
Yeah. Next up, we also have is the Brooks Dynasty. They're going up against the losers. Shaw Leader, Tom Billington. They're going to be in tag team action. And then we got a one-on-one fight. It is Ariel, the Portuguese powerhouse. She's going one-on-one with Nick Marchand in a one-on-one match. Then we also have the Cupid Sway. They're going up against the working class heroes.
It's Guapo Suave.
Guapo Suave. All right. So Guapo Suave versus the working class heroes. They're going to be going at it. Tag team action. Then the RWA this is the Ocean State title on the line, as it is the Mighty Bosch going up against the reigning champion John Steele. Then we also got the Right Stuff, Stephen Lust. He's going up against Cash Money. That's a one-on-one match. And in the main event for the RWA Heavyweight Championship of the World, the reigning champion, Brandon Michael Thomas, BMT, goes one-on-one with the Renegade Rumble winner, former two-time RWA Heavyweight Champion of the World, the Mind Eraser, Mike Grassa. Anthony, it don't get bigger than this. Grassa,
no, indeed, it does not. We saw it. The three of us were there. We were there in February for the Renegade Rumble, and it was Mike Grassa who wound up winning the Renegade Rumble. And normally, when you win the Renegade Rumble, it entitles you to a World Heavyweight Championship match against whoever the champion is come the Legacy event. So I don't know what in the world happened or how this came about, but Mike Grassa is cashing in his title shot for this event instead of the Legacy event, which is very surprising. So, wow. You want to talk about benefiting Special Olympics Rhode Island? Oh, my goodness. Wow.
And not only that, because normally Legacy is normally around August. So he's cashing in literally 2 months ahead than what he would normally do. Grassa is going for it all. He's going for broke. And to put the opportunity to get the shot to possibly win the title here, I mean, like I said, I think we said it going into this title fight, this was without a doubt the biggest moment of his career. And we all know that BMT is going to have Ariel there. Grassa got backup. He's got his fiance, and she is going to be the perfect neutralizer for Ariel. So how's that going to play out? What are we going to get at that? When that goes down, we'll find out tomorrow night live from Johnston, Rhode Island, as the title from the recreational facility in Johnston, Rhode Island, as it will be spectacle, a benefit for the Rhode Island. It is going to be a benefit event for the Special Olympics Rhode Island. Tickets are still available, folks, for this one. Go and get your tickets now. rwaforever.com/events. You know what, Anthony? Provide a link down at the bottom when you make the video. Put the link.
I absolutely will.
I want all you Wrestling Forum fans. Well, you know what? Hell, if you're Wrestling Forum fans, if you're Talking Wrestling TXN fans, please do what you got to do. Make the opportunity. Come on out. Support RWA. Support Special Olympics Rhode Island. I know there's going to be some Special Olympians that will be at the place tomorrow. I found out that a few of them are going. please do whatever you got to do. Show the love to the Special Olympics Rhode Island. Show your love to RWA. This is one of the biggest events of the year. They did it last year. It was a banger. This one's going to be bigger because, like I said, because of the fight card that they got. 10 matches, 33 talented wrestlers for your entertainment. Get ready, guys. It's going to be insane. All right, we're out of here. We will be back on Monday for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Monday Night Raw. Obviously, the Tony's Take. And once the game is over, we'll give you a quick thought about the Stanley Cup Final. We'll give our thoughts about Game 7. And more importantly, who is the new Stanley Cup champion in the NHL? Does Florida come back and ride the ship and win the cup for the first time in their franchise history? Or do they fall? And for the first time since 1993, does a Canadian team hoist the Stanley Cup and bring the trophy back to Edmonton? We'll find out. Nothing more to say. For Anthony Floyer, for Michael Bullock, I'm Michael Fletcher. Be a friend, tell a friend, say something nice. You can actually change their life. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all on Monday.